Hi, I'm Natasha Lockhart. Welcome to Studio Chatter. It's a big celebration for us. We're turning 7 today.
I'm Stacy Beck, and I don't feel like we've done 165 episodes.
I'm Angie Murphy. We're going to have some fun and some good conversations, like we always do.
And I'm Angela Euler. We'll talk with a breast cancer survivor and eat some good food.
And we'll talk with one of our favorite ladies. All that and more coming up on Studio Chatter. Welcome to Studio Chatter. 165 episodes behind us. Happy 7th birthday to us.
And we've acquired a new co-host as well. So
You've adopted me.
yeah, we
Thank
sure
you.
have.
Love it.
So
Yes,
great.
You've filled in for me the last 2 times, so thank you. We've needed you.
Yeah, we have.
We thought we would
Yep.
use you here and there.
And now
Once
she
in a
just-
while, we'll just use you once in a while. Oh, actually,
Every
lot.
show.
it's
Yes.
great. It's been awesome.
Aw,
so
you're a
fun.
great
Well,
addition.
what do we
Ange.
have even to...
Hello.
Hello. One of our favorite guests. What's in here?
Maybe a little gift.
Okay.
Honestly, gift on our birthday?
Yeah.
We happen to like gifts.
A lot.
What is it?
Can you open it for us?
Sure.
Oh.
Welly's little cake.
This
Oh my
is
gosh.
darling.
Did you make that?
Yeah.
You did.
I don't think Angela has ever had one of your cakes.
Oh,
Well, she's missing out.
I have been missing out.
Oh,
Tell me
look
about
at-
your cakes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi
I
is bringing
have
us.
an Instagram.
You have an Instagram.
I have an Instagram called Welly's Little Cakes,
Okay.
and I bake cakes to help with my Cinderella pageants that I do and my dancing.
Oh my gosh. And they're beautiful, just almost as beautiful as you. You do a
amazing?
great job. So how long have you been making cakes?
I have been making cakes since I was 7, I think.
And we're 7.
Right?
Oh, how old are you now?
9.
9.
2 years behind us.
Do you plan on continuing to making cakes for a long time?
Yes.
Yeah, you love it?
Yeah.
It's a good little side business. And you're able to pay for like your own stuff. That's pretty cool.
I heard that you have a big event coming up. Is it in December?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
It's at the Salem Activities, and
Salem Activities?
it's at the Salem Activities building.
Okay.
And it's on December 1st and 2nd, and I have a stand there that you can come get some meat cakes that are new.
Meat cakes?
Me.
Oh, me!
I
Meat
cutting
cakes.
this
So
right?
are they like you are on the cake? Or is
No.
that Just,
Yeah,
are
tell-
they just
what is
little
it?
She'll have
Okay.
Are they
What are they?
cakes like these there to sell? No?
No.
Okay.
So they're cakes that are like that you can only eat. Like it's made for just one person.
individual cakes.
Individual little cakes.
Yeah.
Meat cakes. I love the
We
idea.
don't have to share.
Yeah.
Okay,
These two don't like to share.
No,
None of
we
them
do
like to
You
not.
share.
guys look at that.
Oh, my amazingness.
I'm actually impressed that you can hold that up without it wobbling.
I'm impressed that I cut it. Ooh.
What kind of a cake is this?
This is Boston cream pie.
Looks delicious.
Natasha,
We have never had this
since
flavor
you're the
before.
host,
Oh.
the hostess with the mostest,
Oh, well, thank you.
let's serve you
Oh,
first.
thank you.
Okay, did you like come up with this idea? Or how do you get your ideas?
I get it from this cookbook that I really love.
Oh.
And then we kind of like follow the recipe, but we like change it up a little bit.
Okay.
That's perfect.
What's your favorite part about making cakes? Is it the frosting? Is it the
It's
baking?
mostly the decorating.
The decorating.
I love I like making it and all that, but I really love decorating it because it's like the most important part. You have to like make it all pretty and nice.
Willie, I am your kind of gal. Presentation is everything.
Yeah.
The decoration.
If you ever need help in life, you call Angie. I think she'll have your back on.
I'll try and come up with some good ideas, okay?
So our program has grown over the years, and I'm sure that your menu has probably expanded a little bit. How many flavors are you offering on your cake menu now?
I don't know.
Then that
a
means
lot.
A billion. Just say a
On
billion.
Instagram, there's 3 pages. Almost 4, but
So, Willie, our viewers, they might want to just get on and order a cake. Where are they going to find you?
Instagram.
And what's it called?
Welly's Little Cakes.
Welly's Little Cakes. How is it, girls?
Oh, I haven't tried it yet. I thought we were
getting
waiting
ready.
together. Can we sing happy birthday to ourselves?
No, I have sworn off all singing on TV.
Okay.
That's not good.
Happy birthday to us, Willie. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Here we go.
Oh, Welly. Thanks for
It
coming
is delicious. Yes,
oh my
thank you.
heavens. It's delicious. We love you, cute
Give me
girl.
5. Good luck.
That is the best cake.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are amazing.
Fabulous surprise. Well, one last question though before you leave. Aside from making cakes, we know that you're very, very busy. What is your next event beside cakes? A dance competition, a Cinderella
I
pageant?
think it's a Cinderella pageant.
Okay. Well, we will be cheering you on. Thank you again so much.
Okay.
And join us anytime.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, wow, you guys.
It's
amazing.
delish, huh?
Oh, I just love that we can sit and eat cake and talk.
And I love a good cold
I know.
chocolate, right?
It's
I'm in
cold.
heaven
It
with the
feels
The
cold
nice.
cream is
Yep.
very, very good.
Yep. Perfect,
This is
Boston.
Well,
very
happy
delicious.
birthday.
Happy birthday to us, guys.
And thanks again, Willie.
Okay, so we're going to ask ourselves a couple of questions. Angela, she may have a better recollection than the rest of us, right?
No, I
Okay.
don't know if we go that far.
How have we grown? What do you guys feel like from when we started? Which, I mean, for me, it's only been 3-ish years, 4,
You've only been on for 3 years?
isn't it? 4?
Was it 3 or 4 when you added? I would think it would be more like 4, but you probably know better
Pete,
than
maybe
we
go
do.
back with that, 3.5, 4. What has been the trickiest part? I remember the first time I was on, I was sweating like bullets, guys. Like, I literally had tacos afterwards. I don't sweat nearly as much. So that's a plus for me.
That is a plus for
right?
us, too.
It is, yeah, not so scary.
Okay.
And you guys have been on since the beginning.
From the beginning.
From the very
I feel like,
beginning,
yeah.
right?
What's interesting, that's a really great perspective though, because I know that I get more nervous now, like when I'm on a Zoom conversation than I am just having this conversation.
Yeah.
I
I'm
forget
more
that we're on
comfortable
camera
here.
as much, right? Except for this side angle sometimes. I still hate that.
I think I've learned too, just watching us, like we've grown a lot, but I don't even know. I love the guests that come on.
Yes.
Like learning so much. And their energy, I think that's one cool thing.
Oh,
There's
for
certain
sure.
guests that just like, we can come in and just kind of be really level, but then depending on our guests, they can really elevate our energy level.
Totally.
Or calm us down. Like if we have a therapist on or someone talking about serious things like funeral arrangements,
Yeah.
it's weird. Like we just
And we're
are
always
calm.
like, oh, you're so calming. Like, after
Yes.
you really feel it,
But then
right?
there's some
And-
people-
Or a Connie
Yes,
that
we're
comes
just-
on and we're just
like totally
shot of energy.
Yeah.
Motivated and ready to do
So
things.
that's been something that I've learned, like how much energy people can really contribute to
Totally.
an environment.
I agree. And how we work off of each other a little bit. Like at first it's tricky, like we don't practice, right?
Yeah.
We're not live people.
This is on the fly.
Right, but it is kind of on the fly, and how we've learned to just conversate together. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, do you have a broadcasting?" No, you just pick
Natasha
except for
probably-
Maybe a little.
Yeah,
maybe
Natasha
a little,
does.
But I really look forward to it. I mean, these are one of the things that I look to every single time we're together. You know,
It's
because
fun.
It really
It
is.
is.
It's fun, and I hope that our guests have a great time with us. And
It's like we have a
hope so,
special
too.
little clique.
Well,
I
we
love
have
it.
that, but I love that the community, you know, getting to know different people and what a variety of guests that we have.
Totally.
That can also the audience can get to know
Yeah.
them and get to know us. I think that's awesome.
I think
we can
that's
make
the
that
treat
connection.
about being on this show is being able to meet so many great people, like the connections that we have all over. Yeah, it's super lucky.
It's crazy, Natasha, looking back 7 years ago. Would you have really thought we would have still been going 7 years later?
I don't know.
I don't know
maybe
that
not.
I really thought
maybe
that
not.
far. I thought, well, this will go for a couple years and we'll kind of go through all the people in the area and it'll probably just kind of, you know, maybe fizzle out.
Right,
I don't know that
right.
I mean, I was hopeful, but I didn't have high hopes. I don't know.
Right. No,
Maybe we'll be here
that's-
till we have dentures and they'll fall out in one of the episodes.
Maybe so.
I hope not. Well, one thing that I always brag about though too is that it's very, very unique to our community, and there's always something new and surprising, and bringing in new businesses, new people, new perspective, learning about even roundabouts, you know.
Oh, yeah. Driving our Hot Wheels cars.
Yes, isn't that so fun? I mean, it's just fun.
It is. It's a super good time, and I feel super lucky to have been chosen and to be a part of it and to be with you ladies.
Well,
Well, we've been lucky to have both Angelas.
likewise. Hope
Dream
we're here
team.
for another 7 years.
Absolutely.
And later on, we're going to talk about a few of our other conversations.
Some of our favorites.
Yes. Here we go. Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday. Work, the kids, life, all that makes dinner time a challenge. Our next guest has some great meal solutions for you. Let's welcome Kim Gabler from Saucy Bofa to the table.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
I'm excited to be here.
Hi. We are so excited to have you. Number one, you're bringing us food, which we always love. And number two, you've been a dear friend and neighbor over the years for Stace and I. So it's so fun to have like new business and friendship together.
And it was so long ago, like when we knew each other. Like, I feel like a decade. And then we run into
Probably
each
was.
other and cross paths again.
Because it's a small town,
And
right?
then you have Saucy Bofa. Let's start with the name.
Right.
That is a
Tell
cool
us a
name.
little bit about you, what you're living, and then yes, about
Me.
this.
Okay, so I live in Mapleton now. So I did live in Spanish for a long time. And I have got 4 kids. I love fitness, health, adventure, travel. And so when I was a single mom after I moved from Spanish Fork, and I just thought, well, I don't want to work and leave the kids, but I do want to do something, and what can I do? I love food, and I like to do things for people. Like I really do like a service type thing. So I thought I can just help kind of shop. My daughter was in high school and dance and was driving, and so I thought she can help me. So that's kind of how we started kind of coming up with the idea. We didn't, at the time, there were no meal prep things out there. You know, there were some freezer things that we kind of heard of, and I
But
thought,
nothing
well,
real vocal like that.
yeah, nothing
right?
local. And I'm like, I don't want to freeze my food. I want fresh vegetables and healthy things, but simple also. And then the name. So I ride motorcycles, and I love to go to tiny little towns, and I love the diners with the fun names. If it has a fun name, don't you just want to go?
Yeah,
you just
you're intrigued.
You are.
What is
It's
this
like,
about?
I've got to go check out this fun name little cafe or diner.
Okay.
And so I was just with the kids, we kind of did it together. It's like, what's fun? And we're like, saucy. I'm like, saucy just sounds fun. And I go, when did a monster? I'm like, a monster. And we were reading a Dr. Seuss book, and there's a bofa in the sofa. And I'm like, ooh, a saucy bofa.
Oh, I love it.
come
I
together,
love
right?
it.
Bofa in the sofa.
Bofa in the sofa from Dr. Seuss one night, and I'm like, oh, that could be our monster, because bofa just sounds like a monster. And I had this cute girl do my logo for me, and I'm like, I need a cute monster, but it's got to be a cute monster. And so she did a good job and came up with
yes, it
came
is
up with our
adorable.
monster.
Little kitchen
I cook
utensils.
with chopsticks.
Yeah.
So that's how I cook. So he had to have chopsticks, and
I love it.
So tell me, because I never really talked to you too much about your process. What is this?
Okay, so we do 3 meals a week, and they're for servings of 2, 4, and 8, and I do weigh everything out. So I kind of just looked up, like, what's the proportion size, when I was starting it, what's the proportion, what's the right weight, kind of the right amount of food. And so we do weigh everything. So I can kind of show you how we package it.
Yes.
Are we eating that?
I know. Yeah, and
Okay, let's let
I
you
have a
do
sample.
that.
I'll show you how
Okay,
it's packaged, because
okay.
I actually
Maybe move the cake
don't cook. So this meal, this is our
we move
Halloween.
that
I'll
forward?
scoot him. I'll scoot him right here.
perfect.
Well, that's interesting that you don't cook. So,
I do. Well, this is nice because this is so you can take it home if you have kids. But
Okay.
if not, there's I have a lot of the young marrieds that order. I have some of the older couples that order. They don't have to shop. They can just make a simple meal that's
Totally.
they don't have to cook. But I have my kids cook for me because why not? Right? So I do make the rice just because I thought it's easy for me to make rice. Part Asian like rice. I do cook the rice. So this is this is our Halloween meal. I actually make this meal once a year. It's a little hard, but so that's why I do it once a year. So this is kind of how it's packaged. So you'll get your pieces. So this is weighed, so you've got like a pound of veggies. So usually I have about a pound of veggies. The protein I do between 1 pound to 1.5 pounds. It depends on the recipe, because sometimes the stir fry doesn't need a full pound, and so we kind of mix it up for that. So here's your meat, and like this is chopped. So this is cut. Chicken is the worst thing. I use gloves.
I hate it.
You just have to dump your bag out. So you don't have to touch your chicken.
I love you.
Okay, and this is fun, is Halloween rice. So I do mix it with black once a year thing. So this is like, it's kind of a Thai dish. So it's tons of, these are kind of, it's a little harder, but it's roasted like cumin and coriander seeds. And
But everything's already done?
so I've roasted your seeds. I've blended up all of your spices. I've blended in with spinach to make it green for Halloween. Coconut milk and fresh lime juice is in the sauce.
Oh,
And spinach, so that's all in there. So that's what's nice. You don't have to make your sauces. So we do a lot of homemade sauces, which did match our name, Saucy Bofo, which was nice.
100%.
Not on purpose, but then we're like, oh, we really do have really good sauces. And so this, you would cook your chicken. You would add your sauce, add the vegetables, and add coconut milk to it, and then it's ready. You're pretty much just, once this is cooked, you're heating this up and you're serving it over the steamed rice. And you would just steam this in the bag. I just put a little water. And so that's how simple. But then you can just tell your kids, hey, we've got this great meal. You don't even have to tell them you ordered it if you don't want to.
Do you see my mouth? I'm like,
This
wow.
is my cooking language.
Because
Kim.
you've prepped everything and you're giving the recipe.
And I give, so their instructions
how
are right
darling.
there.
This is like my kind
So
of meal.
your instructions are right
Yeah.
there. Or like I was teaching cooking classes kind of a few years ago, but I was teaching 8 to 10-year-olds, and then I would send them home. I'd have them actually cut this. They could cook this. I mean, like,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
they
yeah.
can read
You've
the
simplified it.
instructions.
Right.
Husbands, like the favorite is my dad's. They're like, hey guys, look what dad brought to the table tonight. You know, and they're excited because they're like, I made up this whole recipe, kids.
Right.
Yeah.
You can feel like
But you've simplified
You're
it
doing-
so that
you're
it
doing
feels
it.
homemade, but you've done a lot of the work
Yes,
for us,
yes.
which I
So
love.
then what about the process of, do we come and pick it up from you? Do you deliver?
Right,
You said you do
okay.
it 3 times a week?
I do 3 meals a week.
3 meals.
So you get 3 choices. Right now, since I am in Mapleton, I do deliver to Mapleton. I do a chunk of Spanish Fork kind of through the high school and over like
Like Maple Mountain High School,
Maple
east
Mountain,
side.
and then east side, and then the same for Springville, kind of towards Springville
Okay.
High School. I have a new commercial kitchen that I'm almost there to have completely opened, and then for people who, I'll try to do most of Spanish Fork and then most of Springville because my kitchen is kind of on the freeway off the Cracker Barrel exit. And then for those
Oh,
who,
when you say you have a commercial kitchen, you don't mean like in your house?
no, like a full 1,000 square foot commercial kitchen. So that's been the process, going
wow.
from friends and neighbors and word of mouth to, okay, I need to
Need to do it bigger.
do
So
the
we can come and pick that up.
So yeah,
So-
then you
okay.
can pick it up if you're not in my delivery area.
Okay.
So I'll just have someone there like at a set hours. We'll probably just do a set hours, 2 hours, you know, on a Wednesday when I'm done, and just I'll have commercial fridges, and then you can just come pick it up.
Awesome.
So what's the
then
ordering process? Yes.
Okay, so my website is saucybofa.com.
Okay.
And I also have the Instagram, which is saucybofa on Instagram. And my order menu comes out usually on Friday. I'm trying to be better since I have the kitchen and I have to be a little bit more business to have the menu there. So once it closes on Monday, the new one will come up. But right now, if it says out of stock, the menu's just not out yet. So we order, the menu comes out on Friday. You can order through the weekends. They're due Mondays by 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And then we deliver on Wednesdays between 4 to 7 is the range that I put for that.
Okay.
Which I think is great. Like 3 meals a week is nice. Enough for leftovers or crazy nights.
Yeah, and even the servings of 4, like sometimes when I do soups, it's usually 6. Like I usually have leftovers. It's nice too because you probably want to do an Asian meal or a Thai meal, or this is a Greek orzo bowl.
I was just gonna ask,
with
this is not
roast
that.
chicken. Yeah, so this is just one that I made up just because I thought it would be a good sample to eat. It's got feta cheese, Kalamata olives, but we do
gosh, I
Greek,
love
we
all this. It smells
do,
so good.
and then we'll do more comfort foods. We do soups, but
my
it's
word.
nice because I think you get a
choose.
variety of
Yeah.
foods. I've tried foods that I don't think I normally would have cooked for my kids because I cook the same things. And so then kids get a variety, and kids, like, I get comments on the olives. My kids have never had a Kalamata olive. Now they love them. Or feta cheese, or an Asian dish.
this whole
you
meal
know,
is just
or
yummy.
a curry. So, and it's been fun. I've done some Indian foods, Mediterranean foods, and it's just kind of fun that you get a variety, and you don't have to have all of your spices and seasonings in
I
your
love that.
cabinet.
I love
because
all
I'll
of
just
it.
do the work for you.
I do too.
How did we not know this before?
It's like a HelloFresh, but like local and fresher.
And chopped.
And chopped. Yes.
Oh my
All
gosh.
those, I'm like, they say 25 minutes, but I'm just
Yes.
chopping and trying to
And
do
then you have
5
to touch the
pans.
meat. For the most part, I try to make it easy so you don't have to touch the meat.
So
love that.
going back, you offer 3 different recipes. I can order just one,
You can
but
just
I
order
could
one.
order all 3.
Yes.
Or
you
you could
can
order
for a
3 of
serving
1.
Yes, or a serving of 2. Or if you're going to have a party, like I'm having a Halloween party, so I'm doing a turkey pumpkin chili soup. I'm going to order a serving of 16.
Multiple.
And it's all prepped for my party. So you can do that too.
Kim, I love you. And this is delicious.
I love you too,
Absolutely
and
divine.
I don't even know you.
Really know you. Yeah. So what's been one of your favorite things about running this business?
Honestly, I love that I make people happy because
Yes.
the comments I get are just like, oh, you've made my life easier. I can come home from work
is
and I
so
don't have to
good.
plan. I don't have to shop. I don't have to chop things, or else my husband was able to make dinner for me when I was at work, or I don't have to think of what can I make for dinner
Yes.
tonight.
And
yeah,
it's fresh
I really
and
love
healthy.
that too.
Yes.
And fresh and healthy.
Yes, so good.
Yeah. And sometimes we're so busy, but we want to give our people good foods.
Yes.
Or
And-
myself, not even my people,
yes,
just
me and Rhett.
Yeah.
Well,
Those
now
are our
we know.
people. Yes. Kim, I love it. So are you up and going then, like right now?
Yes,
Or,
we are
okay.
up. You can go to the website. Everything's on there, and then I'll just transfer to the kitchen, but it doesn't really change.
Saucy
doesn't
Bofa.
Saucy
Yeah,
Bofa
we'll never go
still.
I love
hungry
the name.
again.
No,
Thanks,
love
Kim.
it. Thank you.
As we close out our Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we need to share one more survivor story. Let's welcome Cindy Bradford to the table. Welcome.
Thank you.
So happy you're here.
Thanks. You guys
Love your
remember
shirt.
meeting Cindy?
Yes, we do.
Last year at Grace Ahinger's first event at IHC.
Correct.
It's in line with us. Yep.
Yeah, it was her event for breast cancer awareness, right? And Cindy and I go way back, long time. 40 years? That makes us sound really old. Let's say 30, even though we've
Probably
been graduated
40.
25
40,
plus
it's gotta
years.
be 40 since
We
junior
go back
high.
a ways.
Okay, and as I recall, now when we were in the line, were you just coming off of your journey or had just been a few
Yes.
months into your journey? Okay,
let's have
so
a-
yes,
I
tell us.
had just,
Yes.
Yeah, I had just finished. So
Okay.
August of last year, I just went in for my normal mammogram, and I went and done them since I was 40 years old. So that was my 11th one.
Wow.
And so I went in just to Spanish Fork Hospital and had my mammogram, and then I got a call the next day to come have another one. But I had to go to Provo because the Spanish Fork doesn't do like the second, like more aggressive one.
Okay.
And had they told you at that point anything was
No.
wrong? Just said
No,
you need
they just
another
did nothing.
scan?
We want to look at it closer is kind of what they said.
Okay.
So I went over to Provo the next day and went in and had another one done. And then the tech said to me, the radiologist wants you to wait in the waiting room. So as a nurse, I knew that was not good.
Oh.
And I sat in that waiting room all by myself, just like, holy cow, what's happening? So the radiologist called me into his office, like the office, and he had 2 big screens up. So he had last year's mammogram and then he had this year's. And I couldn't believe what I saw.
Really?
And I was just like, oh my, and I said, what do you think? And he's like, oh, I don't know, we've got to do a biopsy. And
So
I said,
was it a
okay.
big mass? Like,
So they were all over, like this whole breast was full, like all these little things all over. But a big one that he really narrowed down.
and then the other
did
breast, nothing?
Clear.
Crazy.
Clear.
Is that normal or typical?
Yeah, to
Okay.
normally just have one
Okay. All right.
So routine to,
full.
okay.
And how long do they feel like that was there for? Do
I don't
they
know. I had done the year before. I
But
don't
you
even know.
felt fine.
Oh no,
Like,
I would
you
have
had-
never. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel different. I had no illness. Nothing. Nothing.
So then what that happens, then does he say we're setting up a doctor appointment?
No, so
What's
then
next?
biopsy. So then that's
Right
what
then.
was crazy is that then I went into and tried to schedule it. Well, the lady's like, oh, it's probably about 2 weeks out.
Well,
And I'm like, oh my gosh, 2 weeks to wait to even biopsy to see if it's cancer or not.
Right. Like, I'm going to be a mess.
I know. And so I said, will you put me on like just a waiting list? Like if you have a cancellation, I'd love to come sooner. So the following week, the nice receptionist called me. She's like, I had just had a cancellation. Let's get you in. So I had went in the following week and went in for the biopsy to be done.
okay.
And then you have to wait a week after for the biopsy results. So I'm just, it's like waiting of just wondering what's happening. And so then I'll never forget when I got the results and it said it was like stage grade 3. It was a grade 3 is what they called it.
And did you know at that point what that
No, I had to
meant,
research it. With even being a nurse, I'm like, I don't even know what a grade 3 is.
Did they call you in, or did they just call you
Called
on
me.
the phone? Just called you on the phone?
Yeah. And so then they scheduled me to go see a oncologist. So I had an oncologist, and then I had a surgeon oncologist that I went to go see. And so my surgeon oncologist, and I'm going to say her name because she's awesome, but her name's Dr. Tittensor.
Perfect.
Yeah, Tittensor. Yes, and she and I had to ask her because I'm like, did you marry a Tittensor? Did you do this on purpose? Hold up. How
Did you
does
change
this-
your
'cause
name?
She used to not. She was just a general. What was she before that? She wasn't a. She wasn't. She
Oh my
specialized in
goodness.
oncology after.
Wow.
Wow.
And so, but she's amazing. So I went to see her, and she said, you know what, Cindy, I think we can just do a lumpectomy. Just remove this really large area, I think is what our plan is. And so I left there thinking, okay, that's doable. She said, but then before I left, she said, I always like to do an MRI just to make sure that it's just in that spot and not really all over. And so she scheduled an MRI to be done before I went in for the lumpectomy. Well, then I had that at 11 o'clock, the MRI. And she called me by 4 o'clock that day and said, I'm so sorry, Cindy, but it is everywhere in your breast. You are going to have a mastectomy now. And I was just like, oh. She said, do you want to do both? And I said, I do. Take them both. It's fine. And so I was already scheduled for lumpectomy, so then they just went ahead. And so September 21st is when I had double mastectomy. And it was tough. It was probably the hardest thing that you could ever imagine because they cut all of the nerves, muscles, everything is cut. They took out lymph nodes on both sides just to make sure that I was clear with my lymph nodes, and I was. But on the breast, it had come out of the border, which means it's come out of the lining of the breast and had start to spread. And because of that, then I had to do 25 days of radiation. So I went every day, and they radiated that breast to make sure that burned off that line, where the lining where it had went out. They wanted to make sure they had burned that off. And so I would go to work every day, and we would just head over after work and go have radiation.
Oh my gosh.
It was 25 days of torture. It really was not easy. So
And just mentally going through the mastectomy and then having to head into something that was like physically really hard too.
it's painfully hard. Yeah, it was really a hard thing.
So what got you through? Like
Yeah.
coming on the other
I
side.
don't know. You know, I had people that I really liked that reached out. And Rebecca Crespin, you guys all know her. She was fabulous. She really helped. And my great friends, just good support.
Yeah.
And then you know what? I thought, I have way too much to do in my life to let this get me down. So I only took 4 weeks off work when I had my double mastectomy. Because I thought, I'm not going to sit at home.
Yeah.
I'm getting back. And my sweet husband took a whole month off work and took care of me.
Wow. Love it.
So he was a trooper through it all. And he's really a trooper.
I was going to pun intended.
He's really a highway patrolman. Yes.
double duty.
They let him take a whole month off just to take care of me. So it was
So
really
this has been 1 year now.
1 year
And-
in September.
How do you feel now?
Good. I had reconstruction done in April. So that's
How was that recovery by comparison? I've
it
heard
was
kind of
it
bad and
wasn't
good, too.
terrible.
Okay.
But the thing they do now, they don't put any type of saline or anything in. They take the fat from your stomach, and it's called a fat transfer. So they're transferring fat from your own body into your breasts, and so you don't get any foreign objects in there. And so
Maybe
it's-
there's a plus side.
yeah, you get a little bit of
bit.
fat taken out. My husband's like, hook me up. But that was probably the most painful, was having the fat removed from the stomach than it was having the reconstruction done.
Do you think it was helpful also that you had a medical background? Just your perspective?
Oh, yes, I knew what I needed. I knew when, things I needed to do to get better.
Being proactive.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And going back to you saying too, I remember coming to visit you and you saying so-and-so has reached out and they had experienced this. I can't believe all the people that have gone through this, but
unreal.
you don't know. And it was those who had the most empathy really have experienced similar things.
And so that's why I want to be a complete advocate, because you know what? People have no idea when they think, oh, I can just wait a couple of years. You can't. They told me I would have not been around the following year if I would have waited.
Wow.
And not having any other symptoms,
Nothing.
right? So you just don't know.
And so I did genetic testing. Oh, are we done?
No, I don't know. What is our time? Has he given us our time?
We're almost there, but
When we did I did genetic testing and nothing in my genes. So it was not
Just a
even
fluke.
wow,
just
that's
a
interesting
really
to know
quick thing.
because I've done that as well. So I guess that's just not, completely for sure.
It
Like
can
you're
be a
good to
plus,
go.
but it's not necessarily the deal
So
breaker.
yes, in our final minutes, then for the for the folks that maybe haven't had their mammogram, yes, and
Go
yes.
get your mammogram. It's so
Okay.
important.
Mine's
'cause-
tomorrow.
Oh, good. And you just did yours.
And I do mine in January.
There we go. And that's what I had always
my
done it, like on my birthday, around my birthday is when I
perfect
had
timing.
always done mine.
Yep.
And so, 11 years of it.
Cindy, thanks for coming in and
Yes,
sharing
thank
your
you.
story.
Thank you for your courage
and
and
if
your
anyone
example.
needs help, I would love to reach out and help, because I think it really takes a lot of support through the whole
It
thing.
sounds like it.
Wholesome.
I love your shirt.
Thanks again.
Love you, Cindy.
Thank you.
We said it before, 7 years, 165 episodes. That's over 500 guests we've had at our table.
Wow.
We do have reason to celebrate. And producer Pete gave us some homework, and it was a tough assignment. From our 25-ish episodes in the past 12 months, we needed to pick our favorite guests or topics. Okay, we can do hard
can do it.
things.
Really hard.
Was hard.
It was. Hey, before we dive in, can I just give you each a little something?
Oh.
Happy birthday.
Oh
It's
my
just
goodness.
more food.
Nice.
More
This is where we need more food, right? Thank you,
Stacy.
You're welcome. A little Neaters. Happy birthday, friends.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
7
sweet.
years. Wow.
7 years.
Yeah, that's incredible, actually.
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited to hear what you chose. I wonder if we're going to have any of the same.
I think that we did. I think there was, I don't know, guys.
I
Every
know
year
that
I'm
there
just
was
like,
one, a very popular one that we enjoyed a lot.
Yeah.
But I think that we spread the love.
We sure did.
Okay, Natasha, let's start
sharing?
with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine was actually two Laughing Owl episodes and guests, and I feel like I have just learned so much.
I love them.
Yes.
They're so great.
So I think with like the greenery in our yard and some of the things that we've been able to do with our flowers this year, and then even from them coming on site and teaching us how to arrange our
I love the little planters.
Yes.
Some of those things I would never
oh my
guess
gosh,
that they would be
the
in.
planters. And then how are you doing with your basil, your homegrown basil?
Mine's still alive.
Mine is
And
too.
I've been eating it. Someone's died. I have
Oh no.
You guys, I can't.
We tried. We told them we were not good at this.
This is what they said. Do you want to come home with me to die?
I love you while you're here.
I used
did
it
use
several
mine,
times.
too. Yeah.
I think my problem is I'm not getting enough light in the kitchen because we built an awning. And I
Okay.
think there's not. Is that a good enough reason? I swear,
Yes,
I watered
maybe
it every.
overwater, not enough light. We could say
I
that.
watered it every day because it was so
Yeah.
dry and droopy. Those things
We're just
droop.
trying to make you guys feel good.
But congratulations, yours are still
I
alive.
actually made the salad myself.
Nice.
So the spinach
Yum.
salad and with the what's the cheese called? What am I talking about? You know what I'm talking about? The mozzarella cheese.
Oh, yes.
And the tomatoes and the basil and the vinaigrette. So good. I would totally do that again.
Love that salad.
And then they actually delivered some of the flowers to our home this summer, and they have just grown completely out of
so great.
control. And I just love watching them. Also, like there are some of the guests that bring that energy,
Yeah, they
and they
do.
make you excited about wanting to be in your yard and to grow things and do
just
things.
good people,
They're
right?
just good people.
Genuinely great
I've
people.
seen them grow because they
that's-
came.
Exactly.
Yes,
Remember
they're-
his first time he came?
Yeah.
He was
Yes.
like on his four-wheeler. It broke. His truck broke down. He was just kind of like
Yeah.
here.
and
then,
they're still growing.
But they have added new ideas to their business
Yes.
and made it so
love,
fun.
love them. Yes.
Angela, what's yours?
Okay, mine, I had to go back through and look at a lot of them. This was truly hard, but I really love decorating shoes with Grace.
Oh,
Did I
that
take
was
yours?
One of mine too.
I
That was so fun.
I got so into it.
You did. I had to rewatch it and
I
listen to your
rewatched it as
singing
well.
and your
forgot.
fly away.
That's why Stacey won't sing anymore.
No, me. Yeah, that was a fun
just-
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't do crafts anymore like I used to. So to decorate shoes and with Grace, honestly, I love her. I
She's
there's-
darling.
can
She's
you-
fun.
who-
Well, and there's something about methodical, about creating, and then you're talking juices
Yeah.
kind of flow
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
just relaxes you.
Yeah.
That was a fun episode.
You left me out on purpose.
Yeah, you weren't there.
Right?
Natasha, you love shoes. You would never
queen.
decorate a pair of shoes. Let's be honest.
I know whenever there's a
would've loved it.
crafting guest that you
You're
just
like,
purposely say
she's out.
she's out. It's not my
out.
forte.
She's
It's
not
okay. It's okay.
Okay, Stace.
So now you have to rethink
Yeah,
a new one.
no, I really, I loved Reams. I love people coming in. I love our clothes hosts.
Yeah, my sister's
And-
closet.
Yeah,
and
we've
Mia's
had
and-
Mia's and then, Reams and
my
the
sister-
Boot
my
Barn.
sister's closet.
But then the one I ended up going with is Big Brat because just that countryish style, my boots. I remember they brought these boots and put them, not these ones exactly, but they brought them and they had got them in that day and put them right here and I fell in love and went and bought them the very
next
next
day.
day.
Yeah, I remember.
loved them. And just her telling, I still remember like her fashion tips, like that's kind of rare. I remember her saying, when you think you have enough, add one more. Do you
Right?
remember that?
Yes.
Stacey learned something.
Like, it was just fun. And we had tried to get him on for years. And I
Right.
think the owner, Stacy Pratt, was like, I hate TV. I'm not doing it. And so when I cornered her at their new location, she was like, I don't care if we do it, but I'm not coming on. So go find a manager that will do it. And
She didn't hate us. She just hated to be on TV.
She's like, I don't want to be on TV. So we figured it out. And so now they're like, please have us again.
Right.
So that was a fun one.
Yeah,
I
they
love-
spoiled us. Their stuff is awesome in there.
A lot
Really
of our
great.
clothing sponsors are fantastic.
I'm gonna tell Kevin that. I just need one more.
Yep.
Just one
Just
more.
one more.
It's a fashion
A little
tip.
bit of
I just
flair.
need one more thing.
Just one more something.
What about yours, Angie?
Okay, well, I think that I chose one that maybe all of us loved. I love the episode that we filmed at Reams.
Yes.
Just that environment, right, was just so great. I think I told Pete that I wanted to film all the shows
Yeah.
there.
It's such a cute store.
It's darling.
Honestly.
But my favorite, I don't know, there was lots of good things. I loved the tour of it. I loved all of our guests. But specifically, Whitney Laska's always had a little piece of my heart, and she makes me cry every time.
Her
I
singing.
love just her story. She's like that hometown person. We've had her on our show
Yeah.
at Pyro Musical. She sang the national anthem at our football game. I just love how she's working so hard for her dream, and it's not coming fast, but it's coming, and she's not giving up.
And she's so
And I
darn
love that.
good.
So
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
And the song that she sang was The Things That Made Me. And I loved that whole concept of that song. Like, I'm trying to tell people, and I think that's what we do here. It's like we're trying to grasp a little piece of like what they do and
Yeah.
what makes them tick and what they can bring to our community. And I think she encompassed that day.
That was a fun night.
That was a super
was.
And it just always feels like kicking off Fiesta Days, which is always just our
Yes.
favorite time of year. But
Totally.
that night, I hope we can film there every year. It was a long night. When we
was.
go on location, it takes longer.
A lot
Lots of work. And
a lot of work
kudos
from
to all
everyone.
of the Pete and all of the guys that come set
Yeah.
up and everything.
Yeah, but it was
It's
so
a fun night.
memorable, right?
Yeah.
So worth it.
I hope
It
our
was good.
viewers loved it as much as we did.
Yeah. We love you guys.
Yes,
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 good.
fantastic.
Yep,
Well, hopefully
totally.
all of our viewers can see why we enjoy Studio Chatter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Aren't we so lucky to live where we do? And just
We do.
everyone has a cool story and such talent.
Yeah.
In different
We are.
ways.
We're lucky.
I agree.
If there is ever a story of the hometown girl does good, our next guest could win the prize. Let's welcome Ashley Stratton to the table.
Hi,
Welcome.
thanks for having me.
Welcome.
I feel so special that I got invited to the birthday celebration. So
Well,
this is
eat
great.
your cake.
And ditto.
Enjoy.
I mean, we're the super lucky ones.
Have
We
your
get to
cake
chat
and
with
eat
you.
it too.
Yes, I'm trying.
You've been here a couple times.
Yeah, I have. So it feels like I'm at home.
Yeah,
when
you're
I
not
come
nervous
here.
now?
No,
And why wouldn't you be nervous? I mean, you're like out talking on stages and a motivational speaker now.
Yeah, I try to not, I mean, being in front of people has always been my home. Like, I love being on stage. That's where I have my connection with Natasha. It's like, it was back in the pageant days.
2008.
You were Miss Spanish for 2008.
Yep, 2008. So it's been a long time. But I feel like that's where I got my roots in speaking, and that's where I really found out, wow, I really have a passion for this. And I got feedback after the speeches just in the pageant world, and I thought maybe there's something here where I could really help people like change their lives or help them at least make some decisions that could put them on a different course, you know? So that's where it all began for me, was really in the pageant world.
I love that so much.
And then you get married and have kids, and then are you able to just do everything you want to do?
No.
You kind of have to take a little break?
Yes, so I got married and had kids. I had a few speaking gigs like before I had kids, like in college, like at leadership summits and things, and then I really started to love it. And then I got married and had kids, and it really rocked my world. And that's when I realized, okay, how are people doing this? Like, I see other moms pursuing their goals and their dreams. Like, what are they doing? So that kind of spearheaded me getting back into speaking. Is I really wanted to go after the goal setting process. That's one of my keynotes. I have a goal setting keynote that I take around to women's groups and youth groups to help them achieve their goals. But I recently started interviewing women. Like, what's the goal setting process? What does it look like? And I just finished interviewing over 100 women entrepreneurs.
Wow.
I saw that actually. That was awesome.
Impressive.
Rewarding.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was so much work. Like, even just setting up the interviews and scheduling with people and sending them the questions ahead of time and following up with them and then making social media posts about it. It's been a big project. But one thing came up over and over and over again that I think was really shocking, and I wasn't expecting it. Because I asked a lot of the same questions over and over again to see if patterns would emerge, and one pattern did emerge that had me turning off my Zoom camera and having tears well up in my eyes because of the answer I received to one question. And when I'd asked these women, what's a challenge you had to overcome to reach your goals, I was expecting them to tell me like about the first time they ever launched a product and they sold one thing and it was like their mom who bought it, you know? That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But instead they told me over and over again that their biggest challenge was self-doubt. And I had a woman who owns multiple stores and rentals and hotels, and she said, my biggest challenge is myself. And she said, I have so many insecurities. A children's book illustrator told me that her biggest challenge was the negative head trash. I just talked to a woman, and her company was number 123 on the Inc. 5000, and she was talking about imposter syndrome. Like, it was...
She has that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't feel like she should be there.
Well, when she was starting and getting going, that was something she struggled with.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was necessarily her problem at the time, now, but getting going and the goal setting process, that was something she struggled with.
Right.
And so I was like, how am I hearing this again and again? Because I would look at them and think, wow, these women are so amazing. They're so incredible. And then they're all telling me they're struggling with this same thing. And that was like a really big hurdle for them. Like, I just talked to a woman this week who had like an incredible podcast. She's like in the top 5% in the world with podcasts. And she said, my biggest challenge was just fear. Just trying to overcome these things. And so my brand new keynote that I've written recently is overcoming fear and anxiety to achieve your goals. Because that was the biggest pattern that came up again and again and again.
I think it's human nature, right?
Yeah.
And maybe us as women too, like being in the workplace or the workforce or owning a company, maybe that even looks less than. So I do believe that fear-based anxiety to, can I do this? Will I succeed?
Yeah.
Will I fail? What that looks like.
Yeah.
Work-life balance, wanting to be like 100% at everything, and it really does probably take it does take a village. I mean, you have to have a supportive family, you have to have a supportive husband, you have to have support for all of those things, right?
But if you never do try and take the step, you never know what you're gonna miss.
Right.
Absolutely.
So how are you engaging that in the future? What does that look like, that information?
So I'm putting it into a book that I'm currently working on right now. And then I just finished my brand new keynote. I'm presenting it to a group in November. And I'm really excited about that. It's a leadership group for women, and her team was stepping into a new role, but they're having a lot of like fear about like stepping into this new role. And I said, I'd love to come and speak to your group and just go through this new keynote that I have to help them overcome those fears so they can step into these new leadership roles. It's
so cool.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm really, really excited.
And did you start your book before this interview process?
No, I didn't. I wanted to get the interviews done and see what patterns came up.
And then you chose
Yeah.
the topic of your book, or you decided to even write a book after that?
So I decided, I always knew that I wanted to write a
Okay.
book based on like what came up with these interviews. And I'm still going to continue to interview women. Like this isn't the end for me. I wanted to reach 100, but I'm still going to continue to interview women. And I think my questions will evolve too, just in the process of, oh, what's coming up? Like what gets in the way of accomplishing your goals? And so now I'm going to take all of that information that I have and put it in a book. And as I continue to get more information, I'll just probably update the book as I go
So
on.
Ashley, I want to ask you that question. What's gotten in your way to accomplish your goals?
Oh my goodness. So many things for me. I feel like one of the biggest things is just, and I hope this doesn't come across in a wrong way, but a lot of times for me, it's my family life. Like it's really hard for me to be able to achieve my goals and still be the mom that I want to be.
Right.
So one thing that was really, that I loved, I interviewed Al Caraway, and she's an award-winning speaker and
Wow.
author.
Yeah.
And we had the same idea of what it takes to accomplish your goals. And she said, for me, it's a supportive spouse. And she said, I could not do what I do without my spouse because he helps me, supports me so much. And I asked her, I said, but what if someone doesn't have a supportive
Yes.
spouse? Because there's going to be people listening that don't.
Yeah, they're
And-
either single or not supported.
Yes,
Right.
yes. And she said, well, then do you have enough self-love for yourself to sit down and have that hard conversation with your spouse to say,
Yeah.
hey, I love myself enough that I want to show up this way in the world. And my goals mean enough to me, like, can you help me and support me in this? And I really like that. She said it all comes back to, like, do you love yourself enough to say, hey, I have something I want to do to help other people, to a message I want to share.
I love how you
Get out
also
there.
said that she said, this is the way I want to show up in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah. I really love that.
I love that
Oh, I love
so
listening
much. Well,
from you.
right? Because I think a lot of times too, women make themselves like the last priority.
Yep, yep.
Instead of maybe there isn't enough self-love, or I need to do this for myself in order
Yeah.
to show up for everyone else.
Yeah, and I feel like I show up as a better mom, a better spouse, a better friend.
100%.
Yes,
Yeah.
when I'm doing the things that I love.
When
even,
you do,
yes,
for yourself.
Yeah.
100%.
I think
Yeah.
you're more mentally in the game with your kids. You can have challenging
Yes.
conversations and talk about hard things.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you're so aware of the world around you.
Yeah, and I think it opens doors for your kids to say, hey, like I have something that I want to do. Like that woman I talked about that's on the Inc. 5000 list, she said her son is starting a business as a teenager, and he's not dealing with all the fear and stuff that she had to deal with, the imposter syndrome, because he's like, I've seen my mom do it. Like I know I can do this, and he's just going for it. So he doesn't have all those mental blocks that
Oh
are
my
stopping
gosh, I
him.
love you so much. I love this. This
Yeah.
is that positive energy.
yes,
You are
it
so
is.
awesome.
Well, I wanted to leave you guys with a little challenge, if that's okay.
Yes.
So,
What is it?
so I have this summit necklace that I've created. It goes along with my
cool.
it goes along with one of my keynotes. So it says accomplishing a goal is like climbing a mountain. And we invite you to wear this necklace as a daily reminder to climb your mountain and accomplish your goals. And there's a few more things on there that you can read about. But one of the biggest things that I found is 3% of adults have written goals. And so you're 42% more likely to achieve your goals if they're written down. So there's a place for you to write your goal and a target date on there. And so, but climbing a mountain, a lot of times you'll just stop. If you get tired and pause and look at the view, I think that's what achieving a goal is like. Sometimes we have to pause, we have to get help along the way. So I chose the mountain as my symbol for that. So I have one for each one of you. And I want to ask you to write your goal on there.
I'm so proud of her. Thank you.
Happy birthday too. It says I want to invite you to write your goal on there.
Thank you.
And if you'll share it, I would love that. If you'll share it with me or even on the show, maybe you can share what your goal is.
Share this with everyone.
I think that's okay. And the other thing I wanted to say too, if the date comes and goes of accomplishing your goals, let's say it shows up and you didn't accomplish your goal, then what did you learn along the way?
We need to give her a tissue.
Do you want to know?
Oh, this is no. I'm good. I'm good.
This is like Mama
no.
Bear.
I know. No.
This mountain right here just reminds me of this is a mountain in our backyard. To the east of us,
Yeah.
it's this big mountain that just surrounds us, and I think the Wasatch Mountains just always make me feel like we're getting hugged, like
Yes.
God's arms
Right?
are just around us and loving
to
us
look
through
up.
our
I love
challenges.
that.
And so, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ashley. You're
Ashley,
an
we love
amazing
you.
example, and you're coming back again in this coming year. I promise that.
Oh, thanks.
Now that's a birthday party. Now here's that question we asked just about every program. What did we learn today? What did the answers to that question show us about our community?
That it's fab.
Do you know what I love the very most is that when people are faced with, okay, what do I need to do now? People that create their businesses or they learn their talents and then they share them. And we have a community of people that do that.
Yeah.
And that is amazing. Hardworking, innovative with all of these amazing qualities. And they share that.
Yeah. I do love that. Giving back, not just keeping that
Yeah.
to themselves. It's like, this is what I've learned. This is what can help you. That's what I love about Ashley as well. It's
Right.
like learning all
Right.
these things, making herself successful, but in fact, she's really helping other people
Yeah.
become successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
A wealth of information and also even health journeys and information that we can learn from.
Yeah.
Experiences. It
And
creates-
when people come in and share their personal stories, like that's
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, can you come down to Studio Chatter and share your
talk about how you lost your boobs.
With the whole world.
and the trauma
but then
of
there's
that.
someone
Yeah.
out there that is like, I needed that.
Yeah. Yep.
I was scared. I wasn't going
Right.
to go in. I needed
Well,
to
it's
hear
really,
that.
there really is that connection.
Yeah.
Love
I
it.
hope that's what we're doing is connecting our community. The first couple years, when we'd call and ask people to be on the show, we'd be like, there's this thing I'm doing. It's called Studio Chatter. And they're like, I'll send you the link. And then like 2 or 3 years in, I would, do you want to be on Studio Chatter? Yes, I'd love to. I'm like, oh, they know what it is.
They know who we are.
Right.
They just know, they want to
Right.
do it. And so I hope that we're helping businesses and people just connect and having our viewers feel like they live in a community that they want to support people.
I
And
do
learn from
because I
people.
had a lady come up to me the other day and said, now where did you get that shirt you were wearing on Studio Chatter when we were talking about my sister's closet?
Oh, okay.
So I told her, and
Yes.
she's like, I got to go over there.
Well, so when
And
I
so,
wasn't here, you
absolutely.
guys also were given the pumpkin spice frosty.
Yes.
And so yesterday I had my granddaughter, I'm like, have you heard that Wendy's has pumpkin spice frosties? My friends on Studio Chatter all have one. Should we go get one? She's like, I've heard they have them. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
We are connecting the community.
Yeah.
And showing the vibrance of our community.
Yeah,
'Cause
and showing
we
the
really-
diversity too.
Yeah.
Look at tonight's guests, how great. We have this
Right.
little cute 9-year-old making us cakes, coming up with innovative ways to like keep selling it, right?
And what did she call this? A me cake?
The me cake.
And this is what they'll have in December
And
at
look
their
how cute this
Salem
little
Days.
comes with a little spoon.
Like,
I mean, how
darling.
great is that?
But then Kim, so you have a 9-year-old making cake, but then Kim, who was a single mother and had to bring her finances
And tried
together
together
and
to do
pulled her
something.
kids in to help her. Her son's helping with the marketing, her daughter's helping with the shopping. She's growing and getting a bigger kitchen.
So great. And she just gave us our discount code.
Yes.
She said any guests who mention Studio Chatter 50 upon checkout, they will get 50% off their
Half
first
off.
order.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I'm
So,
ordering.
Yeah, me too.
I will be ordering
Yes.
too.
Delicious. Yep, such a great
Well,
concept.
just learning the things that we didn't even know, like these treasures that, I mean, didn't she say that her business has been around like 10 years?
Right.
And now has even expanded to a commercial kitchen and growing. And watching Ashley grow from like 2008.
Right.
Just
Little tears
crazy.
to
Yes,
little
yes.
Natasha's eyes. Yeah.
And Ashley has been here probably 3 times. And it's never dull.
No.
Like that's why I think when we first started, Natasha, I thought, oh, this will kind of go 2 to 3 years because we're going to go out of guests.
right.
But we can have people come back and it's still
Over and
enlightening.
over.
And how many like unique stories are out there, like Cindy sharing with hers today. There are so many more out there, and that's why I would love like more people connect with us. Let us know that you have a story
Right.
to share.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. You can
Wow.
always keep learning, and the fashions are never going to change.
No. Or they're always changing.
Or they're
so-
changing, and they
so we all
they're
share
new.
more.
Yes, and we're always happy to be taste testers.
Well, happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Guys. This was fun.
Yep. 7 more to come.
7 more.
Here we
Okay.
go.
Let's do it.